Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo.
You and I know that the most important thing is that when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. Let me ask you a question. Are you rejoicing now? Under this government, are you rejoicing? Very good. You and I know.
Pastor Ruga, bear with me. Sorry, I'm trying to share the broadcast like everyone else. Good evening to you. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live, and you can share the broadcast with your friends and not your so friendly friends. I am not live on Maiyegun's diary Politico. So I just want to see if I don't go to where Facebook always love to restrict my view. I would rather just go neutral on my personal page. So if you're watching me on Facebook, it's going to be Badero Olushola. And then if you are watching on YouTube, it is the same channel. Thank you very much. And please share the broadcast.
To power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. So same thing goes for my friends on YouTube. Okay. I have been told that some of us are not getting the notification whenever Maiyegun is live. Check your settings. Go on to that place where you have this subscription button where you click on that and check your notifications. Okay. You need to set all notifications on. All right. Sometimes you think automatically should be, but many times it's not. So thank you so much for joining me tonight from wherever you are watching from. You have read about the attack, the terrorist attack on the Nigerian Defence Academy in Kaduna. Southern Kaduna has been under war, like intense war, serious genocide for the past 6 years. Yeah, but even when they arrest the terrorists, what happened? They get pardoned. I have a lot for you tonight. If you have time for me, please share the broadcast once again, because those who took those who killed 2 officers at the Nigerian Defence Academy in Kaduna, they also kidnapped a major. They kidnapped a major, and they are now asking for 200 million naira.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun
Tonight, you can call the title of this broadcast anything that finally suits your own fancy at the end of the day. But me, I won't call her, it don't spoil, it don't scatter, it don't rotten. As it is now, Nigeria has no government, but gang of criminals, like a gang of cabal in charge and doing whatever they want or they feel like, and dare all of us to do our worst. And I think until when we probably feel like we need to do our worst, unless we feel that way, this is like a total condemnation. Like two of my friends said the last time, they said, we are already conquered. Bokohari's government came in and they said, because the righteous people were not in power, that was why you people were not rejoicing. I did say, I remember telling people, I said, the only place where real terrorists the terrorists that have put Nigeria on the map of the most terrorized country, and Nigerians the most terrorized people in the whole of Africa, 3rd most terrorized people in the whole world, the terrorist capital, 2nd terrorist capital of the world after Afghanistan, where you have the Taliban. Then it is in that same country that the government there has no law, no nothing, no plan to prosecute those terrorists who put Nigeria on that map, other than to forgive and rehabilitate and even pay them. We have been saying this all this while. United Nations reports came out and said Nigerian government that they have been funding terrorists, Boko Haram fighters, senior fighters, giving them coverage, giving them money through the process, a backdoor process called rehabilitation process. So they will load them with money, and they will ask them to come in and surrender. So they will give them money, then forgive them, and then send them back into the same community they ruined and destroyed. But the same government, right, is making the rest of the victims from that northern Nigeria to believe that those who actually want Nigeria destroyed, they are from the southern Nigeria. So for 6 years, we have seen them released over 7,000 terrorists. No single one of them has been tried for any of this crime. They are the only people, these forgiven terrorists in Nigeria, they are the only people who have the right to kill en masse. They are the only people who have the right to kill the soldiers, the Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian security forces. They kill them like they kill flies. It has gotten so bad that Nigerian government actually denies their own soldiers in death by denying that such incident never happened at all. That's how bad it has become. They are the only people, the only terrorists who have the audacity to invade the military barrack in Nigeria, kill the soldiers there, cut away all their weapons, armoury and all that, then display those weapons and use the same weapon to fight
The same soldiers that are sent to go and fight them. Meanwhile, when they are ever arrested, they will eventually be released. And it's just like a, it goes on like that. I don't know how long it's going to take for the rest of the world to agree that the government in Nigeria, the regime in Nigeria is not different from that of the Taliban, that the whole world dread today for coming back to power. In 2015, they made Nigerians sign their death warrants. And today, people are dying needlessly in the hands of either they call them unknown gunmen or this. You know what happened? In the past 1 week, almost every day, the report we were getting from Kaduna, from Zamfara, from Niger, even from Kaduna, from Bokohari state in Katsina, it's been about wanton killing, death, kidnapping, including militaries, their policemen and all that, all been butchered. Innocent people. But I have not seen anywhere where they staged Operation Abashank Kiari fish out the kidnappers. The only thing that is available is to catch and release. Because it pays well to fund the war by all means, right? This is where this whole thing gets interesting. These guys, they had the audacity. They've always been having the audacity anyway. They had the audacity to stroll into the military barracks. Fire, shoot everyone they could shoot. Burst into the armoury. Took all the weapons and everything they could take. Vehicles and all that. And then they kidnapped one major. The three of them, the two killed, they are from the southern Nigeria. The one kidnapped is also from southern Nigeria. Now they are demanding for 200 million. The other day, somebody said, you may not be paying attention if you know the pit, the depth of the pit that they have sunk Nigeria into. If you have an exit choice tomorrow, you won't think twice before you opt out of that contraption. These guys have destroyed everything that could make a country to be like a country. As they were given defense contracts to their different cronies, stealing billions and billions, that rather than end terrorism in Nigeria, they have escalated it to what it is today, right? As people were swindling and making their kill from the arms budgets, these same guys are controlling the kidnapping business. Think about it this way. Nigeria is meant to be a country, the biggest country in Africa, right? But Nigeria, with all the resources, Nigeria with the biggest army in the whole of Africa, 600,000 strong. But yet, those who have been prosecuting the war against terror in Nigeria for the past 12 years, the last 6 years have been the worst of the worst. You know why? Rather than more money have been spent to end insecurity and terrorism. In fact, in 6 years in figure, these guys, they were spending over 1.8, 1.6 trillion naira every year on fighting insecurity in Nigeria. At the same time, the more money they spent, the more people died, the stronger and audacious the terrorist guys became. And to make the matter worse, The people who were running away from the guns of terrorists before now, they have now been encouraged to either live a double life, pay ransom to terrorists to stay alive, or pay taxes to terrorists to stay alive, or fight them and die. You've got choice. Children are being kidnapped. Millions and millions and hundreds of millions and millions are being paid to terrorists in Nigeria, in cash, in transfer, in so many ways. And from so many reports, some of these ransoms payments, and including arms gun running, arms supply and the rest of that to all these terrorists were being done and still being done by the same security forces who are supposed to fight them. Now, it became an industry. There are people said, have you seen many of these armed terrorists that they claimed, many of those ones you've seen arrested, either at the point when they were collecting ransom from people? Have you seen them, how raggedy and haggard they look? To make you think, are these the guys collecting billions of naira every month or every week in Nigeria? Billions, tens of billions of naira from different victims all over Nigeria. So when you ever see them get caught, yeah, and you look at them, you are like, where is the money? This is what we found out. Same way those who pledge to defend the weak and the vulnerable, to defend and protect Nigeria, same way they have compromised. The same way they have compromised, and rather than fight the terrorists genuinely, bring them to book, prosecute those who have actually killed people, whose crime have led so many communities into so many kind of desolation and what have you, right? Rather than do all of that, right? The same people, the only plan they have is just what? Is to catch and release them. And at the same time, what we then found is that this money being demanded by these bandits that carried out all these attacks, these terrorists that carried out all this attack in the northern Nigeria. So what we found out is that if you study their way of operation, when they go to communities where they want to kill everybody there, not to kidnap or do anything, they go as coordinated as the military, with kind of military training that is so similar to how the Boko Haram terrorists invade communities. When they go to kill, that is different. When they go to kidnap, for example, when they want to go and kidnap, well, let's start with when they go to kill. They can operate they go at night. They can operate for hours. And for those hours that hundreds or tens of people will be killed, there will be no security response from anywhere until the following day or 2 days after, when the survivors begin to group together and they want to go back and possibly retaliate, because they always know those who attack them. That's when you see the security, and they will show up. The other part is when they are going to kidnap, for example, kidnapping people en masse, school, and a school is a target. These guys will walk into the school, they will march hundreds of school children into the forest. And you ask yourself, what happened to the parents? What happened to those who probably heard the gunshot that the schools are being attacked? How come there was nobody to actually make a call and alert the security? Here is why. Most part of the northern Nigeria, the communities, the rural areas, there is no longer government presence there anymore. Most of those areas, from Sokoto to Zamfara, to Niger, to Yobe, to Taraba, to all these areas, Katsina, Kaduna, all these places, most of their 80% of their rural communities are now in control and command of terrorists. So there's no police to call. So that alone makes the operation of these terrorists quite unhindered, unchallenged, and always successful because people made it so. So they will march hundreds of children into the forest on foot. And there will be no security response at all. Then they will keep these children in the forests for weeks, for months, and sometimes for years. And Nigeria will never locate them. None will locate them. But there will be platform for negotiation, platform for ransom payments, platform for political and photo ops and the rest of that. So what we found out is that all these guys who carried out all these attacks, all these terrorists you see in northern Nigeria and all over Nigeria today, when they kidnap people and they collect ransom, what they get is that they give the money to the people who are sponsoring them, the people who approve. Then the people, these criminals, many of them in government, using their position to block the way from any hindrance to whatever operation they are doing, this jihadist, this terrorist agenda. So they give them back guns, bullet weapons. If they can't supply them the weapons on time, they will give them the key to the any military barracks in Nigeria where weapons are being stockpiled. They will tell them, go there, attack at so hour. You may lose some boys or some of your boys, okay? But once you break in, you will break in. No response will come from anywhere. The only people that will respond are those who are in there. But we will tell you, some of them will give them assignment to go outside. Only few people, only few soldiers will be there. Go there with these numbers and attack them and take over those weapons. This is what we found out. Some said, can you prove it? Okay, can you prove that this is not true? Because what is that thing that will make the Nigerian Defence Academy, the people that are in charge of your Nigerian defense, the ones that are telling you that you can go to bed, the reason why you go to bed every night is because we are ready to sacrifice our life for you. They entered where they were staying. Those who could run, ran. Those who could jump fence, jumped fence. Those who couldn't join and they caught up with, they killed two. They kidnapped one. Maybe they didn't get enough weapons there. There's no report that any of these invaders, any of these attackers were arrested or apprehended or killed. No. So you want to tell me that Nigeria is not a joke? It's pretty much like, let's say, some local terrorists in America. They attacked the Pentagon in America, and they killed and then they kidnapped one of the generals, and they are now demanding for 200 million naira. Just same way the same money they demand from people, parents whose children have been kidnapped. And then the Nigerian police, the Nigerian military, they will come, they will say, we want to appeal to everybody in this community to remain calm, that everything is under control. Our security forces, our agents are going after the criminals. Now, when the people they always told us then that we should remain calm, they are going after the criminals. Those who kidnapped your children or attacked your village, we are going after them. You need to remain calm. That is why people are now saying, since the people that always told us to remain calm, since they have now been attacked and kidnapped, that we need to start a GoFundMe to go and get the kidnapped major released, or do Bambi Allah fine bara to get money to release him. Even if they call the guy the kidnapped major and say, Major, If you have to resign today, how much would you like your pension package to be? Would you like it to be like 200 million naira? Should the guy no go resign now and say, bye-bye, give me 200 million, my pension, cash. But some people needed 200 million from the Nigerian military. They decided to kidnap a major. In the next 2 days, breaking news, they say, oh, they have found him. They have released him. No ransom paid. But guess what? They won't tell you about any weapons and whatever they carted away from that place. Then you ask yourself, how did these guys get guns? I've been a gun they for plane, for sky. Eh? It is because you keep asking yourselves, we keep asking ourselves, how are they getting the weapons? Come on, man. You know how they get the weapons. Michael Arrow, thank you very much for your super sticker there. Pretty much appreciated. Thank you. So we are now telling them that the Nigeria Defence Academy and all of the officers in this time, in this trying time, we want them to remain calm. Because we have sent Hisbah, Amotekun, and Ebubeagu after those who dared attacked the Nigerian Defence Academy. That is the joke on you, the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungos Yaris, the Unekaharis, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the ombuds slaves, the Mumumadus, Bele lecturers, Mumu lecturers, Facebook bandits, social media artsmen, and all the clans of the Buhari idiot. The joke is on you. Many of you are now asking for patriotism. Let us be patriotic. In this scene, this is not a joke, Maiyegun. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know it wasn't a joke. I actually thought it was a joke. When probably they were having a laugh. Every time they told us then that, because just 24 hours ago, the Nigerian Mrs. Police IG, he came out just yesterday and he said, I want you to deal with IPOB members. We will give you more bullets. And we will give you more bulletproof vests. Deal with them seriously. But when they came for the Nigeria Defence Academy, oh boy, everybody pick race. So say, run, oh. Run, oh. They ran. Because that is what the joke that Nigeria has become. And they say if person we want, the people we want, actually, those who want to protect you, they arrived. They are wearing Ebubeagu or Ebubeliza, their uniform. How many of you even remember what that looked like? Ebubeagu, Ebubeliza, they are wearing that for top. They are wearing Amotekun, wine, red wine, what do you call it? Squadron. And then they knock this Nigeria police force. This nobody confusion with that. Is the joke not on you? And the person says he's coming there to protect you from anybody coming to attack you. Won't you look at him and say, oh boy, do I look like a joke to you? Hisbah, the Nigerian Taliban Sharia police force, the moral police of Kano, the Taliban police of Kano. They can smell sins from far. They will look at you and they will let you know that you are a sinner before even touching you. But their hypocrisy couldn't let them see the rot, the cesspit that they are living and dwelling in. We want them to go and help us defend the Nigeria Defence Academy. I'm not trying to mock this family, But Nigeria is a complete and total joke, right? This man is the major they said they have kidnapped. I don't know if he's a major or maybe he's a general, but they want 200 million for him. Now, Nigeria has gotten to a stage whereby every day we tell ourselves, whose turn is it going to be next? Is it going to be my turn? Just 2 days ago, a lady returned to Nigeria to bury her mother. The burial of her mother was very joyous with family members. Everyone was there. It was beautiful. He decided to visit Oyo State, the next state that is just a 1 hour drive from Lagos. They killed her. 35 minutes drive into that. She didn't even get to Oyo State. They killed her. So every day we are looking like, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my turn? Whose turn is it going to be next? Right? Meanwhile, some said we should always pray for the military and for our soldiers and the rest. I didn't know that one day we are going to have to do a GoFundMe. Add them to the prayer points. Okay? Nigeria is so rotten. There are fraudsters who continue to lie to them. They still continue to lie. Okay? In fact, I caught this soldier. This one, I don't think this one is affected. Cool down. Now that's the joke. Part of the joke that the military has become. The joke is so terrible that even when you think, I'm going to defend my fatherland, like some of my soldier friends, some of them are watching me right now. They're watching me all the time, and they feel like, well, Maiyegun, you are saying the truth. But no be your fault, Baba. It's so it's just what it is. Even when you put your life on the line, and you said you want to go and want to defend your fatherland, go after those boys. Who would them be? Who say we know if you fight them, but you know that you can't fight them. Even when they gave you the order that, okay, now you can go. If you eventually ever have to catch any of them, how do you feel when you watch the news? You see them in the news. They are there in different camps in Gombe, rehabilitation center, playing soccer, playing football. Something we be saying haram. Haram, don't tell me it's not. If you try it, if you try it where this Taliban and all these guys stay, where Hisbah and the rest of them they can tell you now haram. How do you feel as a soldier? How? I mean, be honest. Don't pretend about this whole thing about I love my country. Don't lie to yourself. You are alive today because it never reached your turn. Once they choose your posting now, I ain't be say make you write your will. No be so. Last, if you come back now, right there where you lost your own friends, your close friend, pals, colleagues, people that you know they have their families too, shut down by these criminals, only for you to now watch it on the news. They are conveying them in their government vehicles, taking them to rehabilitation center. As a soldier, how do you feel? That's why I said don't let anybody blackmail you about one Nigeria and patriotism. The worst, those who are actually worse are those Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers and the Mumu lecturers. You see those ones where they are abroad. The Mumu lecturers are the ones who are, well, let me go into that because it's like digression, a little bit of digression. So how do you feel? They can stay abroad and say they love Nigeria. You can be patriotic Nigeria from abroad. There is nothing so beautiful about patriotic Nigeria from abroad. where you can just post with your family, your new car, your new promotion, oh, the new successful surgery that you didn't pay a dime. Oh, that holiday, all paid for by your office. Oh, you see that, see this new house we just bought because, you know what I mean? All this, your celebration and all of that. We are planning to go to Nigeria. Well, I love my country, but, it's just that Nigeria is not really safe now. We should all try and show love to our country so that we should not always be saying all the bad things about from abroad. Yeah, I love my country from abroad. Patriotic Nigeria from abroad. I said, bros, when are you going to relocate to Nigeria? And I mean, would they enjoy this Nigeria together under Bokohari? I said, you see, my brother, it takes a lot to move, to relocate. It takes a lot. I'm thinking about it. I said, Baba, even try, can't do small business here so that we will be the Buhari idiots. The Buhari dins and the Buhari didn't. The ones who believe say our reward no days this earth. It is in heaven. Just as we are being led by a ghost. Bokohari. But Baba, why can't do, I don't trust Nigerians. That country is, we should just pray. I'm praying for all of you. But I love my country. I will never let anybody say any rubbish about Oloshiegmo. All these guys, the reason why they love Nigeria, some of you don't know. If I didn't leave Nigeria, you will think anybody living outside Nigeria telling you that, it's going to be better. Give it time. My brother, don't worry. Whatever you need, I'll give you. Don't worry. Nigeria is a great country. It's just that some bad people are the ones who are not trying, who are not letting the work of good people work. You come on. He's abroad, though. He's advising you. You know why? He wants you to remain that way because it is better. He will need those who will help him to clean his car. He will need somebody who will be working like an houseboy, but you'll be like flexing with him, driving the nice car, going to the pub, doing the errand boy. And they'll say, "Now my boy, let me call my boy." You will always be their boy. And it works for them. So stay there. It go better, it go better, it go better. Because if you should leave Nigeria, you will realize that there is nothing like it go better when you are living in a system that is already rigged against you completely. So when people preach about patriotism, I love my country. Maiyegun, you every time you just talk. Yeah, some of these our aunties, our aunties here, especially in London and all of that. I just pray that they don't end up being the point of my news or point of my conversation or broadcast someday. Because if anything happened to that, I'll talk about it. So you see that auntie where they in London, that auntie they don't kidnap her more. They say me they go pay 200 million. No. Now the auntie they don't open GoFundMe. Now only 300 pounds people have donated though. And they say they go kill auntie or they go kill uncle by Saturday if we no raise 200 million. We want to see 200 million for auntie we love Nigeria, but we never relocate to Nigeria. But now she don't visit Nigeria to go and flex. She don't go find out about Nigeria we are talking about. Now she can't come back to tell us about it because until we raise money on GoFundMe. Now these stories are similar to those people who love to say, don't just badmouth it. Don't just badmouth Nigeria. It is not badmouthing. The people demarketing Nigeria are the same criminals who are protecting their other criminals. They were killing people. There's a place called Zonga kataf. Zonga kataf. I don't know if I pronounced that right. In Southern Kaduna. They killed and killed. Just 2 days ago, they killed about 9 people there. They will burn people inside the house. Vulnerable people. No arrest, no nothing. They've already disarmed and they continue to make effort to disarm the rest of the Southern. They've already disarmed the middle belt people. If they see any of you forming vigilante, they will come for you and call you terrorist. That means it's police IG. That one will come and say, deal with them, deal with them. But when these boys came for the Defence Academy. What should we tell them? That they should pray. Are they not praying? Hisbah is on the way. Hisbah, police from Kano. They can smell them from far. I remember this, so this is just a reminder. I don't know if you have the time or somebody once wondered so.
And the truth. And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They are already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They are everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria. Don't joke with what I'm saying. I have a PhD from Oxford University. I'm a central banker. We don't talk nonsense.
I believe you, Jare. Those who don't believe you before, they'll go believe. All of us go finally do what? We'll go eat breakfast. Somebody said, what happened to the military in the northern Nigeria? Can we not be saying with the fulanization? I mean, not be the fulanization agenda or no fulanization agenda. I called them in the training. I told you, Hisbah is on the way. Hey!
Bindigar ku kafadar sufuli uku rundunar sojoji ɗari na 53 ɗaya tara sufuli tara mai igiya uku Adamu Sanusi ya zo domin ka duba lafiyar sojoji da tsaftarsu. Bindigar ku a ƙasa. Bindigar ku kafadar ku a daga bindigar sama a tura ta gaba kafar dama ta koma bayan ta hagun mu je bindigar ku kafadar ku na zo neman izini domin in juya da sojoji zuwa gidan hutu yallaɓoi. Mai hangen nesa tsaya ɗin, saura mu juya dama zuwa gidan hutu je. Hagu, dama, hagu, dama, hagu, dama, hagu, dama, hagu.
Jika.
Oh dear. Would them born well to do a parade in Igbo in their barracks? Would them born well? I mean, would them born well to do a Yoruba soldier parade in any barracks in Nigeria, even in Yoruba land? Would them born well? Now only them. Oh. They are coming to calm the nerves and everything in northern Nigeria, and you know, because if you are looking for Bokohari, it's not around.
Nigeria president now photo. Everybody go snap photo with that. So our president snap photo with the video from Archbishop of Canterbury. He snap photo with the Rogers. He snap photo with this one. Now president now photo on a vote. Your president is now a picture. Photo. Not be juju be that. Not be when our fathers die for each other and we they care for them, keep them for house, they pour libation. You lose a prayer and say, Buhari boy, you lose Buhari prayer.
Anyway, I caught a video which I actually want to talk about. Still talking about the insecurity. Yeah. Something is going on that I don't know if many of you are paying attention to. In the last 2 weeks, they have been killing people in Plateau State. And these fights started from when some youth from a community in that same Plateau State stopped some arm-moving terrorists who were carrying 2 coffins covered. I mean, you know, 2 coffins that was actually covered with what do you call it? Arms, bullets, live rounds, ammunition, and the rest of that. And in the process, it led to the killings of other Muslim travelers. The person will be the terrorist leader of this Islamic stuff, you know, those guys who actually use their own style of Islam to tell us that me and you, we are infidels. I'm talking about this guy who went on to meet Bokohari in Abuja. This old man. He told Buhari, he said, we are going to revenge. We're going to kill people. Now, they have extended the fight since then. They have been killing, and it's been fight upon fight to the point that Jos University of Jos is now under lock and key. Students have been killed. In their revenge mission, they took a student into a petrol station. And they butchered there inside the mosque. There's a mosque inside the petrol station in that same Jos. So they killed him. So many states now have been sending buses to what do you call it? To Plateau states to go and evacuate their cities in their own indigenes. I don't know if your own state have sent people. If you have a brother or what have you in Jos, now they have turned it into a serious religious crisis. And then something took me back to 2018 when Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, was given some fake figures to further propagate the fraud, which they tagged next devil. The next devil now that we are in is that everybody run. Oh. But I remember this video. If you have time, join me. It's about 4 minutes.
Right things. And this is what we have seen. This is what we have seen. When the president introduced it, when he insisted that the TSA must be done, we suddenly discovered that we actually could see for ourselves how much money was available in the system, and so much money was available. We dug up the money from everywhere, and we found that this money was available. I want to say that this same government that spent 139 billion only on all of the on agri, power works and housing, transport, etc. Between January 2015 and the elections, the sum of 100 billion in cash and $289 million, altogether about 100 billion, $289 million in cash was released and spent, shared. This sum of money was in excess of the amount of money that was spent on power works and housing, on transport. And this is the point we're making, that there is no country in the world, and we must know this, there is no country in the world that will allow its resources to be plundered in the way our own resources are plundered, and expect to be economically viable. It's not possible. Nigeria is unlike any other country because of the level of corruption that was perpetrated. We must stop that corruption, and that's why we're so committed. When you fight corruption the way we are fighting corruption, corruption is going to fight back. The system will fight back. You will find the fight back is taking place everywhere. It's taking place on social media. It's taking place everywhere. But we're determined. And this is the reason when you listen to the stories of these young people, when you listen to the stories of the vulnerable, the disabled, and all of these people, these are the people for whom we are responsible. These are the people that who voted for us. We must ensure that we defend their rights. It is in defense of their rights. It is in defense of their rights. It is in the defense of the rights of these people that we will put everything out to make sure that those who have been taking the resources of this country are made to pay for it. I'll just give you one last example. $3 billion was lost to something called the Strategic Alliance Contracts in NMPC. $3 billion. The people simply took the oil and never paid back. Now, the same $3 billion, the Minister of Finance sat with us at a meeting of the Economic Management team, and we're proposing, in fact, right now, that has already been, because $3 billion is about ₦1 trillion. We're now proposing the following roads for the same $3 billion: Abuja Kaduna Kano Road, Second Niger Bridge, Enugu Port Harcourt Road, East-West Road, Shagamu or Benin Road, Kano Maiduguri Road, Abuja Lafia Akwanga Kefi Road, and Lagos Abeokuta, the old road. All for the same $3 billion. That is why the criminal looting of this country cannot be allowed to continue. And those who did it must be held to account. Today we earn 50% less than 5 years ago, and we're investing several times more. In 2017, we spent $1.3 trillion on capital, the largest in the history of this country, despite earning 50% less. The majority of our people depend on the integrity of those who govern them, because they don't have a voice. They are far too poor, in many cases far too vulnerable to be able to say anything for themselves. It's our historic duty as a party and as a government to provide for all of them, to be a voice for them, to make the sacrifices that are necessary. Even where those sacrifices are costly, we must make those sacrifices for them. That is why I'm so pleased that the government of President Buhari has chosen the path of the people, to stand with the people, to be with the people. We are not an elite government. We have chosen to take the side of the people, and will remain taking the side of the people of this country. Again,
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Lori Ro. Upon all of that lies, 3 years after that, they asked Tifnumbu, what do you think about this increased insecurity? What do you think about all of this unemployment, the poverty, and indebtedness of Nigeria? Guess what? Tifnumbu.
And we are competing with armed robbers and bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn, and the morning, yam in the afternoon. Is grown here. You create demand as consumption.
That's 3 years after all the lori raw nonsense that a fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, who has now become the special advisor to Bokohari on condolences matters, burial arrangements, and the it's also known as Agbowori Babaoja, the Agbowori of Nigeria, fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu. What we know if we call him? So unreal. Well, they said it's also going to, it should run for 2023 to become your president. 1.3 trillion naira spent on capital. Blah, 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 blah. But Nigeria is still the poverty capital of the world because look at them. Papa no get work, mama no get work, they no get job. They are living off the public. Their children don't get anything. So some even went on to go and study photography just to be able to call her what? Photographer. Something that some of you will do for free with your phones, camera phones and all of that. You are already perfect photographers, graphic designers and all of that. They are not sharing branded iPhone at your own wedding. You are not driving about without job. Just go and get married. And then, they drive you about in free cars, fueled by free money. And you can do all you like. Bokohari and family. They brought destruction, they brought ruins. And they are telling people to adjust to that. But when they asked fake Pastor Ruga, what does he think about this whole thing? He said people should pray more. People should be united more. What's in that one won't take stop people when they attack military barracks? If they can attack military barracks, so who are you? That's the question you should ask yourself. That who am I? I don't know if you have found yourself in a situation, whereby you just be in a room and you are so angry. Maybe somebody says something to you, and then you walk into a room all by yourself and you found a mirror and you are looking at yourself like this. Who I be? Who am I? Trying to figure out who you are. You know what I mean? So you can do it. I'm asking you, who are you? If they can walk into a barracks, people will get gone. My back is itching me. Sorry. So the people that promise to protect us, that continue to intimidate me and you, when the terrorists show up, they'll become like this, just like me and you when we are scared. Jesus. About carry your gun, fight who? You will get better gun. If you finish with that one, that shakabula gun they gave to you, because the people who put you there, they set you up. It's so unfortunate. And that is why when we see our people who are yet to be victims, some of us are psychologically victims of all that is going on in Nigeria, even though you haven't been directly affected. But those who promise to defend us, well, who appeared or pretend to try to defend us, they can't even defend themselves. And they are doing everything every day to keep us weak for those that will walk in and they will take us away. And then they will say, go and pray. We need ourselves. What the future portends is, it's not glorious.
it is scary enough that it is pretty much like they are just preparing us for that vulnerability. I was trolling the internet today and I found where they said Saudi Arabia, they are trying to recruit Nigerian doctors and take them to Saudi Arabia to go and help improve their workforce. And they're actually taking those ones with real medical qualifications, I would say, in a very, very strategic field, different, you know. And I was like, wow. Well, Nigeria government under Bokohari won't pay them. Okay. Everywhere they are pretty much treated like rags. Like, even the Minister of Labor is telling them that they are acting like God for asking for a better pay package, better work package, and the rest of that. No. Then, oh boy, like somebody told me, said, so many people may be telling you that they love Nigeria, and all those things that the people say for the sake of saying it. Now, if you put two passenger ships in Lagos, and you put two somewhere on the Atlantic in Port Harcourt or anywhere there, and you tell Nigerians that if you make it into that ship, now America, and you become American. You know, some of us, when we were growing up, we used to cry. I mean, we used to share such jokes, and we'll be like, oh boy, if you want to know those who really want to still be in this country and those who don't want to stay here anymore, just bring two vessels, two passenger ship, and bring them to the bar beach in Lagos. And say anybody, put it inside the middle of the Barbie, inside the middle of the ocean. People will swim. So if you make it to the ship, you are becoming an American citizen. So when they asked them that, would you like to be a Saudi doctor, a Saudi-based orthopedician, or what have you? Oh boy, this is what I found. I think I should share with you. And the doctors themselves who attended, they shared their experience.
These are familiar scenes at job recruitment exercises in Nigeria. There is a special difference in this particular instance though, as these are qualified medical doctors applying for jobs overseas, in Saudi Arabia to be precise. What you can see behind me right now is the process of the recruitment of Nigerian doctors by the Saudi Arabian authorities. This exercise is currently ongoing at the Sheraton Hotel and Towers, right here in the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Nigerian resident doctors have been on strike for almost a month in their demand for better working conditions, and negotiations with the government have failed repeatedly. And the prospect of working for the Saudi government is now seen as a big escape.
The federal government is showing the cold shoulder attitude, doesn't show any kind of responsibility or being careful about the situation. I can't imagine, I can't believe my Honorable Minister of Health came out and he threatened us. So I think it does not make sense, or it doesn't make much, I mean, it wasn't the situation. To be candid, we're very, very disappointed. I personally am disappointed. When I go to where I work in a very critical care services of the hospital. But basic things that we need, we don't have. Some things I used to put in my money to buy what I need, just for the sake of the patient. And to worsen the situation and to make the matter worse, and day by day, there is no any progress.
To escape from the hills in the society.
What do you mean by hills of society?
A lot of discouraging things. You see banditry, see kidnapping, incessant strike, and all those stuff. And if you can get a place where you can work, a place that is calm, a place where you can use your skill and you can be well enumerated, is it not better?
For Vivian Okolo here, it is more of a situation of heartbreak as she expresses frustration over the ever-worsening situation in the healthcare system, with this particular case in point.
I left medical school April 2011. My teacher is here. my own teacher, the first person I cited here, was my teacher, a seasoned pediatric consultant. You know what it means? My teacher that taught me how many years ago, I'm giving up on the country, on our leaders, and I come here to meet my teacher. I mean, this is the worst. I never knew it has gone this bad.
The brain drain by Nigerian doctors to proverbial greener pastures has for long been a known fact, but having a foreign government conduct massive recruitment of Nigerian doctors in Nigeria is taking the issue to a whole new level, and there is no telling the likely far-reaching effects of this down the line.
That is the situation. Saudi Arabia, Qatar have taken more than 2,000 Nigerian doctors. UK, they have taken more than 4,700 Nigerian doctors in the last 2 years alone. 4,000 doctors from Nigeria, they have relocated to the UK with their family members. Now working in NHS, working everywhere, but living better life. They are in this UK. And you are there shouting, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, let everybody go. Meanwhile, Bokohari himself doesn't even have a doctor in Nigeria. Tifnumbu doesn't have a doctor in Nigeria. All your politicians, all of them, since the moment they have access to your public fund, what do? They quickly book their own doctor somewhere, Germany, Saudi Arabia, America, UK, and all over the place with your money. You all hate Bokohari, you all hate Nigeria. Oh dear. We are just trying to save you from your own self and from your ignorance. I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to be saved. But look at those who brought you to this level. You don't have any emergency where that anybody can just put you on a plane if you have an emergency and say, hey, take him to South Africa to go and get medical care. Those who are experienced, trained by the system in Nigeria, those who have had the experience, they have had enough. If they want to go, they should go. We are many. That's what your ministers told them. And that is why many of poor people, they end up in the hands of fraudsters, 419, miracle workers, because the little things they are suffering from, little ailments, that they could go to the hospital and get treated, since there is no doctor to even diagnose them, then you will see somebody who is like, over this one, na village people. Say, I thought as much. They saw your glory. You are going to see, they saw that the glory of this boy is going to be the president of a country. I can see a very big president. That's why they want to kill him. That is why his leg broke, because they had no money. They couldn't go to the hospital. They had to come to some, and they couldn't take him to get medical care. The leg got worsened, and here we are. Instead of still going to the hospital, they went somewhere where a miracle worker will say, "Oh yeah, brakada, yeah, this leg straight. Oh yeah, this leg bend," and all this madness. And then you turn around, you say, God, why are you doing this to me? God, why are you? God, it's not God doing that to you. It is your ignorance. Because if you turn around and then when we tell you that the criminals who gave no damn about you, they are not that they just don't give a damn about you. They do everything to wreck you and make sure that you will never have the help you need. But they can have the help. Yeah. They can go abroad for it. You can go to the church and do 7 days fasting and prayer. You can go to Imam's house and they can try to see what they can do and fight the evil spirit for you. You can go to the Babalawo, the Mamalawo, and the rest of them to go and see if somebody is trying to make you cripple because of your destiny of becoming governor of your state in the future. And all those things they've told you. Guess what? If you have a working healthcare system, right, you won't even have the time to go and ask somebody to tell you why did your leg break and you can't walk again. You won't need anybody to say that to you. They will tell you that the reason why your leg don't break, we will be saying, no, if you walk well again, be say, now, like, they will tell you in the hospital, but
They have destroyed Nigerians psychologically to the point that if you tell them that before your eyes go blind, you must have been seeing some signs of either cataract or what have you, or any other eye problem, that ordinary eyeglasses will probably restore your vision. Before it gets worse, somebody will say, Baba, leave that. Leave that. I have seen somebody. He did okay. The guy just sleep and he wake up. He don't blind. I say, I saw the guy last night. We did together. The guy just a pow. Baba na village people. I say, okay. How do you know? We went to church. They said the village, they don't chop the eyes for meeting. They use and they hit the, say, which village people? They said, nah, say. How about you take him to the optician to take a look and tell you exactly what is wrong? Baba, forget this person. I have seen. Then that's when Nigeria, because they've destroyed them psychologically. That's when they will begin to give you another thing. No proof, no notice. Baba, wait. Even leave this one. If you don't believe that this one is village people, I know one rich man. Which rich man? The man rich. There's nothing where this man no get. Now, so the man lost his eyes because they say he used his eyes for ritual, for money ritual. No doctor in the whole world that this man has never visited, they couldn't fix it. I say, you did there. Baba, they tell you. They tell you who told you. Then tell me, say, people, I know. Well, calm down. That is how much Nigeria has destroyed you psychologically. Because when you can't give an answer, when you don't have a clear answer, then you have to make one up. There are those who actually feed fat from that because they know people like you exist. Say, Papa, I think they happen. Every time I charge this phone, the thing go down 100%. And within 10 minutes, it could just turn off. Then I just went, I said, I am expecting a call, a contract. And devil want to make sure that I don't get that call. I just went inside, I started praying. I said, Baba, wait. Did you check if the phone actually charged 100%? Or you are just so paranoid? I said, no, they talk like that. Am I blind? I'm telling you something. This is a spiritual. What do you even know about this spiritual? Other than your fear that you project on yourself and project on others. And I found out that there's no point. It is what Nigeria has done to many people. Psychological destruction that make you think. Those who denied you electricity, those who denied you infrastructure, good road, those who denied you good hospitals and good pay for your doctors, training and the rest of that, those who destroyed your education and gave their own children education abroad with your money, those who did all of that, and at the same time, those who failed to protect you, but they continue to provide the sophisticated, watertight security for themselves, their family members, from the danger that they can't protect you from. Those criminals, in all honesty, they deserve none, if at all, none of your sympathy. So there's no point in you jumping up and down, shouting, I love my country. I'm a one Nigeria, this, one Nigeria, that. I told people, I said, listen, there are many ways Nigeria destroy people, but it is mostly psychologically. Because when people can't explain things, or they don't have answer to something, right? They just automatically believe that that's beyond you. That is supernatural, which is an excuse. There are those who are actually, indeed spiritual, supernatural, and they understand the rudiments and the ways and, everything about it. But an average Nigerian, if they can't give you an explanation to what is going on with them, they will say, Baba, I went to go and pray. And God showed me a vision that this is a spiritual attack. That is why I couldn't find I couldn't find anybody to marry me. They said they have destroyed my destiny because they believe that, somebody from my family, they didn't want me to marry because if I marry, I'll be successful. And they have done so much that Every man that sees me, every man, they will be abandoning me. They won't want to do anything with me. So spiritual, but I'm praying for it. And God is on the throne. My sister, I am not saying there is no spiritual. Okay? My brother, no lady want to say yes to you. You have some people will say, I have a good job. Okay? I'm not talking about you. You may have your own personal problem that has to do with your attitude and what have you, or what have you, whatever. But I'm talking about those of you who no get job. I never chop. We won't marry another, I never chop. What do you think they are going to give birth to? No be alimajiri. Right? Your girlfriend or your girlfriends are abandoning you simply because you haven't made it. You have not made it yet. When they leave you, you don't know that they are doing you a favor. Okay? It is not spiritual. Auntie, you have job. You have everything. Now man remain. They told you it is spiritual. As you are moving from one place to another and all of that. But let me tell you, it is not spiritual. You see, some of those men that you see around, Nigeria has happened to them. And the only way to survive is to live in denial of it. People will not get job. How do you think, even if you don't get job and you are getting erection, it is just that erection. They can't take responsibilities that comes with having a family. Gone are the days when our parents were telling us, start a family first. Don't think until you make it. You see those young guys you see out there, they know better. Are you with me? And many of them don't want to settle down because they don't have what it takes to settle down. Nigeria has happened to them. They are hustling. Yes. Hey, but you are doing fine there. Well, let us just get married. I have small business. I have a job. I'm collecting this. I read all these stories online. I'm like, people don't have a clue. You go to Shiloh. When you go to Shiloh, as you are in that Shiloh, praying for husband, that guy next to you, looking good, looking smart, is praying for a job. The guy no get job. Well, he's looking good. He speaks good English and all of that. Okay? So at the end of the day, when you realize that it's really not going to be up to it, even if you have everything to take care of him, a man will be like, no, be this I want to. That is not village people. Nigeria has happened to many, many young people. Many young people who could have just easily, just after coming out of school, get good job, get something doing, go straight to, or if they want to go into businesses, go into businesses within a year or two, go on and marry their university sweetheart or their college sweetheart, begin life and start raising family, things that are supposed to be normal if you go school. But you see so many people who are graduates. They have been graduates for 8 years. Some of them, people I have to remind them, Baba, don't see, you are getting old. Just marry Tokwe like that. Manage them like that. Don't say until you make it and then you want to marry one woman who is a grad. Baba, your level no feel day with graduate. Just marry Tokwe like Tokwe don't carry belle. Shoma don't carry belle. Now so God be. Now you and Nam go be husband and wife because they have been waiting for a better job, which they will never get. And now in the area, they know them. Some of them in Lagos actually turn to Agberu proper. I'll be waiting now for do. Like my grandma, my great grandma would say, I didn't even know what that means. She would be like, how for do? That's what can we do? She was over 100 years, by the way. You hear me? She would be like, how for do? 8 years, no job. They have to go and just go on with that. Even you, graduate, you get job, you get this. That young man, many of them, and if you have any of them right now that are with you, your college sweethearts, I beg, if you think it's husband material, hold on. What I'm trying to tell you is that Nigeria has destroyed many, many young people. It has brought so much limitation to their path. There is limitation to where they can get to. It is man, no man. And that has limited the opportunity so bad, shrunk the space of opportunity so bad that it becomes the survival of the fittest. So people don't think about getting married, having like all these our young ladies, and they say, I'm going to turn 30 next month. What are we doing? What are we doing? Tell me, let me say, what are we doing? Oh boy, are you not the one who is packaging me to make me look like somebody who is responsible out there to my friends and all of that? Is that what I'm going to do when we get married? He said, but I can take, we are fine like this. I say, I'm about to turn 30. See, I can't do it. Last, my own set, they will end up being a second wife, third wife, just at least to get on. Young people are losing out in starting family because Nigeria has destroyed many, 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 many of them without knowing. So if you continue to defend all these criminals and you are not seeing through what Nigeria has done to you, what Nigeria has taken away from you, to the point that you are now jumping about looking for people who, who are hanging their ladies who are hanging their pants, the ladies who are dropping their menstrual pad somewhere because they say, okay, you need to go and eat shit, you need to go and do that because to you, since Nigeria don't spoil, Nigeria don't finish, and you don't want to agree that the fact that Nigeria don't finish, you have been affected too. You begin to look for ways that are unholy, things that are not lost. At the end of the day, there was a time I was asking myself that if you even look at the way these guys are talking about Yahoo Plus, the way they are talking about money ritual, I'm like, is it that people are just dumb or they are just dumb? Because I don't have any other thing I can say. You know why? Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. If you know anybody who can do money ritual, that money ritual should be able to give you enough to at least be bigger than a whole state. I mean, the money will come from where? Yeah? Why can't every community where they do money ritual create $1 billion in dollars in that community so that somehow you can use that money ritual to end poverty? But because Nigeria has destroyed the psyche of the people, and the same Nigerians will tell me, no, Maiyegun, no, money ritual is, you cannot give people money. The kind of money ritual is that you cannot help people. Sometimes you cannot even wear good clothes. I say, Baba, na mental problem. That's what Nigeria has done to you. Say, no, it's true, sir. I say, it's true. You see, they can have the money, billions. I say, where the billion? Can't you use that to imagine if I get one person for Odogbolu, I won't even come to the UK. I'll just say, oh yeah, we'll just do $1 billion for us in Odogbolu. Okay, $10 billion worth. Say what is worth $10 billion Odogbolu. So if you come to Odogbolu, you think you are going to Texas or you are going to this beautiful island, small place, beautiful. So all of you, if you want to have your own better place, just create your own money ritual for a kind of boy. This is so bad, dash. It is what Nigeria has done to you. What Nigeria has done to young people. They go about, they say, these guys are bathing naked in public because they want to make money. I say, Baba, waiting they go. I say, Baba, I'm just so depressed. I say, why? I'm just so depressed. My life, I'm just so tired. Everything is just so frustrating. I say, how can you 17-year-old boy, you are frustrated? How old are you? Some will even say, you 35-year-old boy, you are talking about being tired. What is wrong with you? That's what our uncles would tell us back then. They would say, how old are you? You still have your word. You still have your life ahead of you. Well, every day, Nigeria continued to destroy the psyche. When I was growing up, who born you to say you want to do something about money? Yeah, okay, I think I did one. And it was when I think I was in maybe primary 4, primary 5. And I think it's one of those crazy things that, they will say you should go and bury 10 kobo. You bury 10 kobo with, I think with the head of a lizard. You kill 7 lizards, the male lizard, right? You kill 7, you cut their head, and you go and put, if you want 10 naira bill, money ritual, you put 10 naira, and you put the head of the 7 lizards, you put it on the 10 naira, you dig a pit, you put it there. And since you are a virgin, you have to pee on the place, on the spots. So after 7 days, you will come back and you will meet a bundle of 10 naira. But I didn't have 10 naira. The most money I do, probably I would have like back then was 50 kobo or 10 kobo. So me and my friends will go lizard hunting. But oh boy, there was never a time that we got anything back. We just remove our coin. We remove the coin, we wash it, and just go and buy tabadadi. I don't know if you probably grew up in the 80s like me. You remember what is called a tabadadi. But those are the little we could do. Maybe back then, if we saw those misleading criminals back then, maybe they could have probably lured us into, oh, you want to do money ritual plus, or you want to do head of lizard plus. So you see young people today, they walk about looking for things that are not lost because of what Nigeria has done to them, the damages. These are the young people that will become adults. These are the young people that become older people in the next 20 years, the next 30 years, and that is the future of Nigeria. And guess what? There's no future. You can't say you have a future like that. There is none. And that is why if you continue to defend them, you continue to wait for your turn, no be cause, no be fights, okay? Those who are in charge of Nigeria, they don't mean well. And as long as they continue to release terrorists that we don't even know their identity, yeah? To the point that the whole world is now acknowledging the fact that Nigeria is not just shielding terrorists, Nigeria is in fact funding them. They even have a surah to name for it. It is specifically for the terrorists and their commanders. It doesn't matter how many people they kill. Once they come out and say, we repent, they will give them substantial money and let them go. And if you see how the Taliban took over Afghanistan, from record, when America invaded Afghanistan in 2001, looking for the Al-Qaeda of Osama bin Laden. After dislodging the Taliban from government like Bokohari's government in Nigeria today, I don't know if America would ever come, so don't expect them, by the way. So after America dislodged the Taliban and went after the terrorists, the Al-Qaeda and their controller commanders, they arrested they killed many of them, and they arrested some of them. They said they shipped them down to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, where they built special prison for them. Then back in Afghanistan, America was doing the same thing Nigeria is doing right now, asking the fighters, the Taliban fighters, to surrender to the new unity government they were putting together then, 20 years ago. So those who surrendered their weapons and joined the unity government became policemen, soldiers in the Afghan army. So they ended up making up about 1/3 of the Afghan army. They were known. but they were supposed to be the fighters to defend Afghanistan. 20 years after that, my brothers and sisters, when these guys were coming, the 400,000 strong Afghanistan army, which is now made up of, which was then made up of about 2/3 of the entire armed forces. Imagine if one day they say, oh boy, they don't overrun Abuja, everybody don't run away. Those who get private jet don't fly away. All of us, we get caught up in Nigeria, don't they? Lagos airports. The Nigerian Hisbah, Kano Hisbah, Afghanistan, the Nigerian Taliban, the Kano Hisbah, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and the rest of them, they are taking over Nigeria. And so America go to watch us. So say, oh boy, last. Abi, we'll all run to the airports. And then we'll be begging we'll be begging everybody to come and carry us. Abi, come and carry us. So 250 million people. How? We're not going to do them. And that's it. The same way the Afghan army did not respond. It was the Afghanistan army officers that were arresting their own officer member, their own fellow colleague, Afghanistan army soldier. They are the ones arresting them, keeping them, and every territory that Taliban every territory they were taking over back then, right? Until they got to Kabul. When they got there, it is either a total surrender, or if anybody tried to fight and all of you, the soldiers themselves, now them they arrest themselves for the Taliban before they arrived. Some of them have been executed now. In the last few days that they took over power, they have started killing some of those who resisted them in the Afghanistan army. So in Nigeria, one day, 2/3 of Nigerian military will be made up of all these criminals. And just like many of you are always probably going to still support and defend your one Nigeria. So you will not be surprised when one day you will run from your house. You will not drive your car. You will run with your 2 legs. You find yourself in Lagos airport, joining others, jumping fence. Carry us. You see that thing you saw in Afghanistan? Just same way they told you that it would never happen in Yoruba land, that anyone will get kidnapped to pay ransom to bandits. Go now. The bandits and the terrorists in Yoruba land are saying, hold my cup, hold my gun, and let me show you. 20 years ago, almighty America had to leave all the weapons and every other equipment that even Nigerian army doesn't have. Do you know that? They control that in Afghanistan now. These same weapons that Nigeria could not use to crush terrorists in Nigeria, these weapons, these vehicles, these ammunitions and the rest of them, they are now in the control of the terrorists in Nigeria. How did they get them? They stroll into the military barracks, shoot at everybody they could shoot and kill. Then they cut away everything they could cut away. And that's how they just go there, take whatever they can take. Nobody goes after them. So who tells you that in 10 years' time, when you are still shouting your one Nigeria, you will not be running from Ekpe to Ikeja and see if you could get there faster than people who are coming from Ishagamu. And whoever get there first, jump fence, jump plane. If not America, bye-bye. If not Benin Republic, last, this will make sense. Those who are preparing us for slaughter, they are not doing anything to stop those who are slaughtering and killing us. And they continue to say it is our government. Our government. If you don't like it, and trust me, I don't like it. And so are many people in Yoruba land. And one day, a scene like this will become the regular in Yoruba land. That is the Yoruba anthem. It is becoming the household name. I mean, as household anthem. It is becoming the conversation around the Yoruba land. Gradually and gradually, it will become the general saying. It is now the official anthem of the government of Ondo State, as we have been told. We see or look forward to a time that the entire Yoruba land will adopt us, and our children will sing that with pride and with so much joy. And then it will become reality, the reality of a free land. Yoruba nation, Oduduwa Republic. But for now, people say we should continue to solicit for the Southern unity, Southern solidarity, where we can all push back, this counter invasion and attack, as we have been told. Yes, we thank God that some people are not just talking. They are walking and acting. The last time I tried to reach Professor Banji Akintoye to get the Ilano Omo Odua, direct finance account, the link to where we can contribute and continue to contribute and raise funds for all of the activities of the Yoruba Nation campaigners, especially in Yoruba land. Okay, I reached out, but I haven't heard anything from him. I know he's presently not in Nigeria. He's in Benin Republic, because due to the ongoing case of Oloye Sunday Igboho. But I wish I could hear from him and I could get the authentic account details from him so that I can share that with all of you. So we'll continue to do our best, and we'll continue to make sure that people understand why they deserve better. Why, at least. If Nigeria can deal us this terrible deal, if people say no, if our people say no, yeah, it will be a no. If our people say enough, it will be enough. But what we need to do is, how can we get our people to understand why they have to say no to this deadly suicidal deal that Nigeria continue to deal us? It's going to get worse, no joke. But you won't understand if you have never been a victim, or if you aren't a victim. A lady that possibly must have seen my video maybe once or twice, who knows, maybe. She was in Nigeria. She was living in the UK. She left to bury her mom. She's not coming back because she got caught up in the Nigeria suicidal deal dealt us in Yoruba land. That is the deal that we must all say no to. And it's up to you. It's up to me. We won't stop talking. Thank you to every one of you for your time tonight. I'm going to see you again when I see you. To my friends on YouTube, do me a favor. If you're watching me for the first time, well, you can now, if you enjoy this, you can actually tap that subscribe button. If you're watching me on Facebook and this is also the first time, I advise you should follow this page. Like, follow, share. To my friends on YouTube, before you go, you can give me that thumb up there, and I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádùn yẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá ayé ẹ̀sùn rájì aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o ayé ẹ̀sùn rájì òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú ayé ẹ̀sùn rájì ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rájì ayé ẹ̀sùn rájì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.